Hi, I'm Kat Young and I'm a consultant at Oaklin. So I'm here to give you a bit of an insight into what it's like to work at Oaklin and be part of the Oaklin team. So my intention is to give you my views and my experience of what it's been like to work there for the past 4 months. I hope to cover 4 things with you to give you a bit of an idea. So first of all is my own journey to Oaklin and how I got there. Secondly, who we are as a firm and then what we do. And then finally, what have some of my own highlights been in the 4 months since I've worked there. So this is my journey to Oaklin. The consultants at Oaklin have all come from different varied backgrounds, but I would say the majority of us have worked at a big firm at some point in our career. I personally started with Teach First. I started as a teacher in a secondary school, teaching science and a little bit of music. Once I qualified, I then moved on to work at a company called The Challenge. They're a charity, so not a traditional route into consulting. I worked, first of all, on their summer programs. They deliver programs that bring young people together to help strengthen communities. I was responsible for recruiting people onto those programs. And then we had support from Bain, which are a consultancy company. They came in and helped us work out how we could triple the size of growth. So go from 20,000 to 60,000 young people on the program. After that, I was then seconded to deliver their work as a project and change manager. I didn't have any experience of that, I didn't know any methodologies. So we got support from EY. They came in, I got training from them, and I then worked alongside someone from EY to deliver that. Towards the end of last year, I got itchy feet and started to look to see what else was in the market, and that's when I came across Oaklin. And a few of the things that stood out for me about why I liked Oaklin, first of all, the range of different sectors and industries that they worked in and the flexibility that we had to work within that. When I worked at EY, I only worked in the local public services team, so I worked in local authorities. And while I had a range of projects, I was within one sector. But at Oaklin, I've got the opportunity to work across a range of sectors. I also really like the size of the team. It's small, it's really personal, and it's really friendly. And I think that's important when you join a small firm, is that you have to get along with the people that you're going to be working with, as you see a lot more of them. They have been around, they're coming up for their 10th birthday on their next birthday, so they have got that credibility and that experience that gave me the confidence that they knew what they were doing, as well as being small. One of the advantages of the recruitment process I found with Oaklin was I got to meet loads and loads of people during it, probably more so than I have at any other firm, but it meant that I was really confident in the people before I joined. Is there any questions on my journey to Oaklin before I move on to a little bit about what we do and how we do it? What we're able to bring is a range of experiences from other industries, which is really beneficial to then take those learnings. Often industries know what the people in their own industry do, but they're not as open or knowledgeable about what's happening elsewhere. So that's something that we can bring. While I might not have industry knowledge, the types of work that we do is quite similar. So when I was working in the local public sector, it was about helping organisational efficiency, it was about helping to do things better, and all of those things you can do across different industries. And there are, across Oaklin, a range of where people have worked. So if we need specific industry knowledge on specific topics, there is always someone that we can go to and find that knowledge. I think there isn't necessarily an organisational difference. I think everybody works in a slightly different way. So somewhere like EY, there's a range of different teams you can work in, and every team will work in a different way. So that's not dissimilar to working at Oaklin. There are a few people from EY that work at Oaklin too, so if I wanted to question or ask about something that I knew was very, very EY, I could chat to them about it if I needed advice. But actually, I think the range of different ideas that we've got is probably similar to working across a bigger firm. I think some of the core skills that really I developed throughout, the first is being able to communicate effectively with a range of different people. Teach First, I think, have a saying, as you lead in the classroom and then you lead in the boardroom, which is like saying your boardroom is like a class full of children, which is perhaps not the same, but there's different techniques and ways of speaking to people that you learn as you're teaching that really, really helps across the board. There's also, I think, being prepared for a career in consulting, being a project and change management lead, knowing how to lead a project, how to lead people, how to stick to a plan, how to make sure that milestones are reached, and how to ensure that all the stakeholders engaged. That's something I learned when I was a project and change management lead. And without that role, I'm not sure that I would have been able to make the transition into consulting, because it was that role that helped me truly understand how a consultant works and what they do. So I think at the moment, what it looks like in our firm in terms of the partners, it's slightly different to a big firm. So the majority of our partners, I would say, are on client site with us. They might be delivering work themselves, working with the more senior stakeholders. They might be across, so we've got a couple of larger projects that have got a number of consultants on them. They might be based at that client, but kind of be spread across lots of different roles. They also spend a lot of time looking at how can we build recognition of what we do and see if there's any new clients that would be interested in working with us. In terms of the more senior consultants, there's the opportunity to do a lot of that work too, and I think that's what the flat structure helps bring to the firm, is that you're not restricted by your title. You have the opportunity to work and to deliver at whatever you're capable of doing. So, for example, in a big firm, if you were a consultant or a senior consultant, you're less likely to be aiming to sell work onto clients. But actually here, because we're all consultants, then there's the flexibility to work across where you're able to. The difference that I felt and I noticed was that at EY they're known for being the people company. They're really about the people. They're a very personable organisation, and that was something that I valued when I went into the organisation and still valued when I left, and I still had that opinion, which is why when I interviewed at other places I wanted to make sure that they also had that, that they weren't robots, that they weren't completely serious all the time, that it wasn't a really hard driving negative atmosphere. I wanted to have that personable nature with my teams, and that's something that I have managed to get at Oaklin as well. So there's two similarities there. Okay, so moving on to who Oaklin are. So we're an independent management consultancy firm, and we aim to understand what our client wants and then help deliver against those challenges. I think our clients value us because we're versatile, so we work across different areas and different sectors, and also for our expertise in delivery. I think our values underpin everything, and they're really apparent in our day-to-day working. So we've got the experience across different sectors, we've got high quality consultants, but also we work with integrity, so we'll only do work that really needs to be done. And that way that when we work with a client, they understand that if we're talking about something that needs to be done, we're not saying it because we want to get more business. We are saying it because actually we truly think that it's going to make a difference to their business. And because of that, over 90% of the work that we do comes from repeat customers. So whether it's within clients and then more people join that client, or whether our client refers us to another person that they know in another business, and then that's where we work. In terms of the people that we work with, so there's 7 partners, and it's quite a flat structure at Oaklin, which is something I really enjoy. There's 3 associate partners, 2 are consultants, and 1 is our operations director. And then there's 3 other operations staff that support our operations director. And then there's a plethora of consultants like me who go out to client site and deliver the work. Great. Well, that's everything from me today, unless there's any other questions and things you wanted to know about Oaklin.